I feel I was denied critical, need to know information. Anyway, hey BG fans and Tremors fans, GojiFan98's here, and welcome back for another new video for today once again. Today I am continuing on for the next episode of GojiFan98's Tremors-A-Thon. Today I will be taking a look at the second installment of the Tremors franchise, and it was my favorite movie of all time, with Tremors 2 Aftershocks from 1996. So, and it features the new monsters called Shriekers, but I'll talk about a little bit more detail in a moment. Let's talk about the history about the movie. After the first Tremors movie was a success in the box office, Universal Pictures decided to immediately began working on the direct sequel. After the script was sent in, Universal Pictures apparently they loved the script and began to start shooting right away until 1994 where they start shooting. Well, before the film began, it was actually where Universal Pictures collaboration with another studio called Stampede Entertainment. So the cast will start to have to try to... You see, in the film, before we have a new character was joined in, like Grady Hoover was joined in along with the others. You see, in the original script for Tremors 2, Kevin Bacon's character Val McKee and the actress who portrays Heather Gummer was supposed to be sent to return, but Kevin Bacon was unable to do it because he was on other movie at the same time working on the Apollo 13, based on a true story about what happened to the Apollo 13s in the 1970. So Kevin Bacon's character Val will end up being reduced, as only mentioned in the film, to explain what happened to him in between after the first movie, is that he and Rhonda apparently got married, and then he just lived in a happy ending in New York. And later have off-screen, but I will say that till I can mention about when Val and Rhonda had a kid until I get to the sixth movie soon. So in between after the first movie, Heather and Burt got divorced because of Heather just couldn't handle the fact of that Burt had to be paranoid all the time. And the fact is, the reason why Heather didn't come back is because the actress who played Heather was unable to do it while she was on other project at the time while doing an upcoming tour for her song. So that's all we have known so far. But yeah, I kind of wish they should have brought these characters back, or at least, just wait till if they come back, after they finish what they're doing, then they will start shooting. But instead we have a new character named Grady Hoover, played by Christopher Garten. But the only two returning characters from the last movie was Earl Basset and Burt Gummer, returned played by the same role actors, Fred Ward and Michael Groh. Also noted, this is the last time Fred Ward would ever make an appearance in the Tremors series before he passed away in 2022. There are many attempt projects to have Fred Ward to come back to replace his role as Earl in the many attempt project, including Tremors TV series project from canceled 90s version and attempt to come back in 2003 version, but that never came to be. But I'll save it when I get to Tremors series to have more detail. Anyway, in between film, Earl, he stayed in Provision, Nevada, and he owned his ostrich ranch. Follow after he got a fortune with Val, follow after defeating the first Graboid. So, Earl apparently he was broke. He was all by himself. Until he was later got recruited by Senor Ortega, who was a founder of the oil company in Mexico, recruiting him to take out more Graboids in Mexico. And this is one thing I really want to talk about in the opening sequence in the film when the oil worker, that he was terrifying when he was under attack by a Graboid until he finally got eaten by that monster. Because he was on the oil drum making that noise while he was trying to get away from it. But to me, if I were this guy, I would not be afraid and stay where I am, not making a noise. But here's a little funny thing. When you watch the trailer of the movie, when the narrator said, "This time, the worm have turned." So, how's that? Well, let's hold on for a moment. When Earl and Grady arrive in Mexico, and they have got all the things when the Mexican army gave it to them, like guns, dynamites, and RC car. But they have the remote control cars to use it, attach a dynamite on it, and how to detonate it. And here's the fact, if you look closer at one of the RC car, that it has a truck, that has a name of Thor, named after Marvel character, even a name after the gods, this mythologist character. And I love a lot of scene when they show a montage of explosion when Earl and Grady kill more Graboid. Until when we get to the next part, one of my favorite moments, the graboid that ate the radio, that he got the chain and gave Earl and Grady a ride, dragging the truck, until it broke the chain off with a rock. And it makes me laugh all the time. And this is the second movie that Earl lost his hat. In the first movie, he did lose his first hat while he was running away from Graboid with Val during the first encounter in the first movie. In the second movie, he lost it when he got dragged by a Graboid with a truck. Earl's truck is exactly the same truck from the first movie. Instead of not Val and Earl's odd jobs, it is now Earl's ranch from the ostrich. And so, when they realized there was more Graboid than they ever thought about it, they decided to recruiting Burt for help. And this time, he's got lots of explosion and more firepower, including MREs, meals ready to eat. Oh, I really wanted to eat those. But even I know that's the military's food. Burt actually got a whole storage of them, bought them from supermarket, and he said MREs are not that cheap. Anyway, when they continue to hunt for Graboid, until something's really wrong with one of the Graboid that Earl and Grady got one, and it turns out it gave birth to 3 ugly monsters that their names was never mentioned in the movie, but we later found out they're called Shriekers. Now let's talk about Shriekers. Like Graboids, they don't have eyes, and unlike Graboid, they can sense the heat of our bodies with a heat sensor, like Predator. They will come to attack people when they see the heat. Also, when they get enough food to eat, they'll multiply. Like, when they get enough food, they get sick and multiplying. I was like, ew, that was gross. And leaving our heroes trying to figure out what they're going to do to prevent them from these things going to escape. And until in the end, Earl managed to use it to go into the Burt's truck and activate the bomb, and blew these suckers up. And a whole bunch of the Shriekers blew into pieces. That was the most epic explosion I ever saw. And this is my second Tremors movie I first saw when I read it on Video Store. I used to have Video Store, and when I read it in the videotape before it was closed down in business due to not making enough money. But it'll always be remembered for the good moment. I like the characters in the film, and the film was directed by S.S. Wilson, who was behind and created the characters of the previous film. And the music was so good. The set of the taking place in Mexico was really cool. Originally, the film was supposed to be going set in Australia, but it never happened because due to the budget consumed. Could not have afforded it because due to the budget limit. So we introduced a lady character named Kate Riley, played by Helen Shaver, who later became Earl Basson's love interest in the film. If you all know Helen Shaver, who was best known to play voices Littlefoot in The Land Before Time, the first movie, who plays the voice Littlefoot's his mom, the Brachiosaurus. So, I really love everything. All the explosion and a lot of great moments with Burt, including my favorite scene when he showed his gun after talking, that he goes like, I am completely out of ammo. That's never happened to me before. But also here's the fact of what's my least favorite character in the film is Grady Hoover, because he's kind of annoying. Especially, I hate the part when he's screaming at the top of his lungs during a truck drag scene while the Graboid almost got too close to the cliff. It just learned quickly. Avoid the same mistake like what happened the first one. Because there'll always be a lot more Graboid. Even they talk about the origin this time, they were actually Precambrian life form. They were oldest creatures on planet, way older than dinosaurs. I was like, oh. Even Earl thought it in the first movie, thought they were from outer space, but unfortunately, he was wrong. So anyway, that's all I have to say for Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Stay tuned to next episode. I will review another direct video for Tremors franchise with Tremors 3, Back to Profession, from 2001. As always, stay Goji fans and Tremors fans. And GojiFan98's will always be here for more and do more videos in the future. So yeah, and also if you have time for later on, check out my TeePublic shop right after the video if you all have time. So, bye!